Welcome to the Booze and the Bees.
We're the hosts today, and we've got some clips for you.
Today and every day.
All the days.
For now. I mean, we're the only ones that run this operation. So
Whoa.
When we make it big one day, maybe someone will buy it.
Ooh, yeah, and then they can talk garbage to you, and then you'll go to our other podcast, because we're why you watch us.
We'll be traveling. That's what we're trying to put out there.
Yeah, we'll be traveling, moving along.
But still want to make content, like, forever. Wouldn't that be cool to we're, like, really old, just making content still?
Marjorie.
Oh, Gerald. Gerald. But, okay, sorry. Today, we're talking about money and relationships. And yeah, I think we should just get right into it.
Sure, yeah, there's a clip I've never seen, so she'll start it, and we're just going to put it up here, and you can watch our reactions.
Yeah, all right. Wait, let me make sure I actually screen record it. Okay. 3, 2, 1, here we go.
First question, yeah. For people in a relationship, me and my boyfriend always get in a fight over money, bro. Okay, mind you, I'm not broke. Like I'm not broke. I am broke right now. You feel what I'm saying? But I make good money is what I'm trying to say. And all my money goes into my bills. It's just after all my money goes into my bills, I usually have nothing left. So I picked up 3 jobs, right? But my boyfriend didn't like that I was working the 3 jobs because he felt like I wasn't around.
So just so everybody knows, the number one leading cause of divorce in America is finances. It's not cheating. It's not anything else. People will say that finances absolutely cripple them, and you fight over finances and argue over finances. And when she's saying, mind you, I'm not broke and I work 3 jobs, it's coming across a lot like my man isn't picking up his slack. She might be getting into it.
Yeah, you'll see where her point is kind of going. But yeah, already though, it's like 3 jobs. I'm sure that's stressful already on a relationship. How are you having any time together? You know, and that's why a lot of I feel like arguments and hardships happen in relationships because of money, because it's like so stressful right now.
Yeah. And
to afford anything.
The economy is difficult, but we have to also just consider this, that the Great Depression happened and families had a lower divorce rate than today. That was the Great Depression. That was when people were literally starving to death. And families didn't break up because of it. So I think one of the biggest issues I'm noticing here is that people are trying to prioritize comfort, and what they're not acknowledging is if they were single, they would have all the same financial load and then some, because now it's you paying 100% of your bills.
Yeah.
Like, even if she was paying 80%, at least there's someone covering 20, but they're going to consider that like they're covering none. And throughout history, men would go pick up a girl who didn't have a job and take care of them forever. The market might not say that's possible right now, but we need to stop thinking about relationships as my partner just needs to make money. That's not what love is supposed to be about. That's not what family is supposed to be about. It's about surviving together through hard times, through bad economies. Yep.
I want to keep going because I think she kind of makes it
as much, which doesn't make any sense. But anyways, nevertheless, also I had to quit a 3rd job because getting a sitter was becoming a little bit difficult because everybody started working in the evenings. So anyways, me and him always get in an argument over cash. And mind you, I'm only ever asking for cash on my off days. Like, if I'm paid, I'm good, right? On my off days, though, I do be asking him for cash. And I'm not talking about, like, hundreds of dollars. I'm talking about 10, 20, maybe 50. And majority of the time, it's to be put back into the house, right? Or it's to be put to good use. Like, I'm not asking him to get my hair done. I'm not asking him to get my nails done. He doesn't even get any of that stuff done for me. Like, he does none of that for me. Like, if he does something for me, I have to ask for it. You feel what I'm saying? But
I've got another question. Whose children are they?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. Are they his kids? Because there's also a very mentally draining thing if she's working a lot of jobs, but she has children. He came into the relationship to meet and be around her, and she can't cover her own bills. And now she's asking him to cover her and her kids' bills. We don't know how long this guy has been with her, We don't know what she's been asking for. They could be her kids. I'm just saying if we're going to take this from a lens of absolute anonymity, taking nobody's side, it's whose responsibilities are these and what can you do about it, right? If you're a guy and you came into a relationship and someone has kids, you have to expect there's going to be some financial liability on you if you're going to fill that role. Otherwise, you shouldn't be taking those women up on it.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't feel like that's right. And I get mad because every time I ask him for money, he wants to explode or have some type of reaction that just triggers me. And I just want to know, like, do you females ask your man for money, and how is that transaction? Like, is it a fight?
I don't ask you for money. Well, no, I guess I have. I have asked you to help me with bills and stuff.
Yeah, and I've asked you to help me with bills. But one thing they don't note is that I've spent thousands of dollars to do things like cover credit cards or get wisdom teeth removed or things that are going to help you in your future, because I saw us as having a long-term relationship and had no quarrels paying those bills.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, but in this instance, it's like just trying to think. We've never had our arguments never come up if I like had to ask you for money for anything, Starbucks.
It's a partnership. Yeah. And I think one thing to note about our relationship is that we are in a lot of ways not traditional relationship. She does have to pick up some load and do some work and pay some of her bills. And that's not very traditional. You're not sitting here cleaning the house all day and cooking all the meals. You know, right. We work together as a partnership, but in a very real way, I do pick up a vast majority of the household load without question. And one thing for any women out there, where if she's asking us, like, do any of you have troubles asking your man for money? Your partnership shouldn't be this transactional situation. You should be able to just say, I'm the man, I'm going to go to work, I'm going to cover a lot of bills. If she's going to be doing work with me, we can be in a business together, we can grow our income together and really not have to worry about, okay, I need his money, she needs my money, we're going to keep tabs. That's just tough. You don't do that in friendships either. But
I think realistically, not all couples start a business together. Like mostly they have one has a job. Like, well, she said she had 3 jobs, and I'm guessing he has a job or 2. Mm-hmm. So it's,
I'm just saying it shouldn't be transactional. If both parties are working because they both have to work, there has to be the bills get paid regardless. We are one unit and we're moving forward together as one unit. They always get paid, all of it. It's not you get the electric 1 month, I get the water 1 month. It's the bills need to be paid because we need the water and the electric both to be on. So whoever has the income at that time does it.
Yeah, but also what about instances if I like ask you for Starbucks? Like even that.
And that just goes back into, I think the dating market's real tough because a lot of guys are trying to do this transactional thing. Mm. I think a lot of men aren't really men and able to take the household. And a lot of men get taken advantage of by women so that they feel like they have to be transactional when they find somebody. So there's a lot of damaged women and a lot of damaged men out in the dating market that's making it hard for traditional couples. Because a man almost never has an issue paying for dinner. Almost never has an issue paying for Starbucks. Mm. Almost never has an issue paying for nails either, as long as they have the income for it.
So I wonder why they get into fights about it.
I think a lot of people have, and that's why I'm kind of wondering, are they his kids? Because there's something in his mind going, I'm being used. Because he's been used before.
I mean, he's not yours. You don't think that way.
I don't think that way, because I came into it with I'm moving forward with this person. We don't know how long they've been together, so it makes it very difficult.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. We don't know the whole backstory.
We don't know the
That's
backstory.
That's why I can't wait till we can actually get guests and we can actually get more questions. Yeah, we're getting to that point, y'all. We are.
And that's the thing. And so we can still come at it from a different point of view. I mean, we don't know everyone's specific story.
I'm trying to hit different points of views, like ours, but then also think, okay, but what if they're this too?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. What I'm seeing here is a guy who wanted to get with a girl, and she's probably thinking he's less of a man for not paying, and they're getting into arguments for it. And he's thinking, none of this is my responsibility. You're a full-ass adult. You should be able to pay your bills. That's the bare minimum. Like, you being able to pay bills doesn't make you a boss. That makes you a full-grown adult. Mm-hmm. You're not the boss, not a boss babe. And now you're asking me for money for your kids and your bills that you didn't pay? You need 3 jobs because you spend too much on stuff. We don't know any of their scenario.
Yeah, it's hard.
And it sounds to me, the fact that they're fighting so much is that she's not being feminine. She's not being agreeable. She's not making it easy. You make my life very easy and very fulfilling when I get back from an extraordinarily long day and long trip. I enjoy being around you. And a man will spend 100% of his income, 100% on a good woman and a good family. Like, absolutely, without question. So if your guy isn't doing that, maybe it's him and he's bad. I'm not going to say it's always you. But you can't control another man. You can control your own behavior. Are you being agreeable? Are you being nice? Are they happy to come home to you? Because they would happily, in an instant, drop all their money to
That's
make your life
probably
better.
hard to like step back and really see if you're being that kind of person. Because a lot of people are really, what is it? They're like just so stuck with like that they're good that they don't think they need to fix anything.
It's always
and
the
it's
other
really
person's
hard
problem.
to be like, no, open your eyes. Maybe this was your reaction. And then that caused this reaction and a ripple effect, you know? Like,
Yeah. Maybe you asked for $20 here and there, and maybe they just aren't a high income household, and $20 is actually a pretty hefty load. Okay, but maybe you asked for $20, but maybe you asked for $20 5 times that week, and that's $100. He's like, well, what are you spending it on? And he notices you buy, like, you don't look for coupon codes when you go and shop, you know, little things.
maybe we should finish it. I don't remember what else she says.
Yeah. I'm just getting to the
wrap
point
it
real quick. It's, you don't know her spending habits or what they say, but the fact that they're arguing definitely means he's coming out home and saying, I'm probably going to leave her. If she makes this 20% harder for me, I'm done. He might be on that fence already. So that's just something to note. If she was nice, he probably would pay. Okay, you can go ahead.
Is it normal to ask your man for money? Like, how much money does he give you? You know what I'm saying? Does he treat you to get your hair and nails done? Like, my man literally does nothing but keep his money to himself. Like, and it's annoying, and he's very Mr. Krabs, and I don't like that. And I don't know if that makes me sound shallow or whatever the case may be, but no, I want to marry a provider, and I feel like providers, you know, will help out. And also, he doesn't like to talk about his finances, bro. How are we supposed to be getting married in the future if you can't even...
Not married,
I just realized that, yeah.
not his kids,
Okay.
not his responsibility. When has she paid for him to have stuff? She's only said, me, 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 me. How many of you girls are getting treated? How many of you girls are getting spoiled? How many of your guys are spending money on you? All of his money is his. How much of your money have you spent on your man? Have you ever gotten him a gift? Have you ever gotten him anything? Have you helped him with his bills? If you're such a self-proclaimed like boss and provider and not brokey, then why aren't you spoiling him? If you're looking for a provider and the only people who provide for you, you're going to yell at when they don't, they're not going to provide for you. Sorry, you're not the catch here. Being able to pay your bills is the bare minimum, and you're hitting none of the marks. So I'm just throwing that out there. Ladies, if you want to find a guy who's willing to pay all of your bills, be better than this. Don't expect your man to come and save the day. And when she's saying, does your man go out and spoil you and treat you and get your hair done? Do you know how much a down payment on a house is? Maybe he doesn't want to tell you that he has $30,000 in the bank because he wants you to be happy until he goes out and puts the down payment on a house that you can raise your family in together.
Well, then that's why I was kind of agreeing with the last part she was kind of getting into, where you do want to be able to be comfortable talking about finances with your partner. And she was saying that he didn't want to, like, at all. So, I mean, again, it's so hard because we don't know their relationship. But I would assume you have a sense if he has a job or something, if he's doing well for himself. But it is nice to know that your partner wants to plan financially and stuff with you.
Yeah.
But
it's also nice to know that if I am somebody in a relationship and you want me to be the provider and you're going to yell at me about finances, then I don't want to tell you about the money that I've saved for the house because you'll know that I have it and that I'm not giving it to you.
There should never be an argument or yelling or
But she's already
like
said
that.
that she's argued and yelled about it. So in their relationship in particular, I'm saying he's going to say, no, I'm not going to tell you. And also, everyone can be different with it. Mr. Krabs has a great house and a spoiled daughter. Okay, so throw it out there that he really cares about his family, and he doesn't tell Squidward or SpongeBob about his money, all right? Because it's not their business. It's his business. And so if he wants to take care of his family and be the big man provider and not tell you about it so you don't have to worry and don't have to yell, and that's how he wants to run his family, and you want him to do that, then you don't get to yell at him for not giving you stuff. And you also don't get to yell at him for not telling you about his money. And now I agree, it would be good to have those discussions, but you can't have it all. You literally can't be the boss and then want someone to also be the boss. It's not making sense. Mm-hmm. Yeah, bound to fail. That's what I'm seeing in this relationship, is bound to fail.
Even have a simple conversation about finances with me. It's always turning into I'm being money hungry. But it's like, I'm realistic, bro. We need to know our budget. How much are we able to spend? Am I wrong? All right, serious question, yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to finish it because I didn't know if she said anything else.
Yeah, is that the one clip for this? Mm-hmm. All right, so yeah, what's your stance? Is she wrong? You've heard mine a bunch of times, and I'm going to keep repeating it. So,
I mean, again, it's hard when we don't really know the full story. So it's hard for me because I don't like assuming her as an individual what her situation is. But just for people in general, you have to be able to communicate with your partner in all different situations calmly without it getting stressful and turning into an argument, and think you're not on each other's side when realistically you are. If you're in a partnership, you guys are on each other's side. And so for stressful conversations like that, if it starts getting heated, maybe you aren't communicating correctly to each other. Take breaks like him and I have had to do before, or type out what you want to say and then, reread it and realize like, oh, I shouldn't say this and this. Like, this is my point I'm trying to get across. And as long as y'all are on the same side, it should come into light and not be an argument. It should be pretty easy and simple. Like, conversations with you, like you said, are so easy. It's just, it never feels like, oh gosh, I'm nervous to ask him to help me with my car payment or anything, And it's just that grew with us learning how to communicate with each other.
Yeah, and it's important I think more so if you're the one looking to understand what the other partner needs from you. For instance, if you are somebody who makes 7-8 figures a year, I might not want to discuss money with my partner ever. And I've got it covered. And it would be insulting to me if you asked me about the money situation. If you're absolutely like the boss for real.
Right.
It's like you have no place saying these things. And now it's really hard when you go down that totem pole to where you really don't get a lot of that. The top 0.5% people.
I know I want to try to target the people. Usually it's like both people are working.
Yeah, it's most of the time now
minimum
both people
wage, or what was it? The medium
income. So so to be a middle class nowadays in equivalent spending power, you need to make $130,000 a year, which is only in the top 10%. So only the top 10% get to spend like 50% of the people get to, which doesn't make sense.
Crazy.
So most partnerships are going to have to deal with money, and most men want to be able to, and I'm going to say this from like stats on how successful relationships have worked. Most men want to be able to be the provider, and most women want to be provided for. Mm-hmm. But now most households need the man and the woman to work.
Income, yeah.
And so these discussions are even more important.
Right.
And if you're a woman who just wants, me, like her, it's going to be very hard to convince him to give you the money because it's supposed to be about us. If she was nurturing every day and then wanted something done, there would be no chance he would say no unless he physically didn't have the money.
Not even really necessarily she has to pay for stuff for him, but if she's paying him with like love and care and nurturing and stuff.
That's how it's worked for literally, hundreds of thousands of years.
And it's hard because I'm sure with 3 jobs and kids.
It's stressful.
You come home and you're probably just so stressed and high energy and just like you take it out on everybody around you. And I used to do that. And it's really difficult to come home and just leave all that and focus on being like positive and present for your family and for your partner and being loving for them, even though all you want to do is just like yell or punch something, you know, but it doesn't help anybody around you. It just makes it so negative overall. So then I can't just imagine it's like already negative. They're coming home and you had an awful day and he had an awful day. And then you're like, oh yeah, I need $50. I don't have enough money.
Yeah.
And then you guys were already not in a good place. And so it's just like, well.
Yeah. And it's something that seems like it's a recurring fight. And so he's like, I already don't want to deal with this.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I think would help people in relationships is like money is difficult. And if budgeting is difficult, you need to really think about how you're living and where you're living. I know a lot of people who live in California where the rent is twice as much as what we have for an apartment. And they refuse to leave there because they want to be that Californian person. And I'm sure that's going to really impact your bills and your spending. And you can go to a place like Missouri. Is it an ideal scenario? No. But if you want to have the ideal scenario, you need to do the ideal things. If you want a six-pack, you have to work out. If you want a providing man who's a high earner, you have to be able to say, leave my baggage from work behind and not make my home a battlefield.
Yeah.
Because the only person who will ever provide for you without batting an eye needs their house to be in order. They're not going to come home and argue with you and then pay you. They would rather be alone.
Yeah.
With all their money and all their sanity and go find someone who's just going to say, man, this apartment's great. I'm so happy I'm in this small, cold apartment with you to warm me up. At least we can be broke together because I love you.
Yeah.
And that's not something it sounds like she's getting. That's not something his partner needs to have heard, that he's still being respected.
Yeah.
And that finances shouldn't be making or breaking relationships. And to go online and do this, that would be it's over for us. That would be bad.
Oh, well, they also might just be doing it for views. And
Sure.
Who knows?
And
the comments are off. Who knows, right?
Yeah. And that's what the comments might be off because she's heard a lot of this from a lot of guys.
Yeah.
And also, whenever I hear something like this too online, I'm not going to be saying about them specifically, but people who come across like this.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, there was a time when there was Kevin Samuels, he would have people come up and people always thought, oh, he's this huge misogynist and this and that. And he's like, look, lady, if you want my advice for you specifically, you can pay me for my one-on-one coaching. But right now, I'm only listening to what you said and responding to that for all the women out here who have these problems. If you don't have these problems, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about women who do have these problems. And I've got a ton of reviews from people who are happily married now that they got their expectations in check. So we're not talking about her. We're not trying to fix her relationship. We're just saying if you see these things in your relationship, it's something you can fix.
Yeah.
Being peaceful at home, maybe you're not being peaceful at home. Maybe he's not being the provider. We know a lot of bum dudes too.
Oh, yes.
So it's about noticing, did you get with your partner for the right reasons? And also note, as you get older and continue to make decisions and have children with different people, you're not going to be able to get the same caliber of dude to want you. So you need to work extra hard to be very nice and very pleasant. You don't get to be more selective the more baggage you have. You have to be better.
And I mean, why would you want to be like rude to your partner and stuff? Like, why would you want that kind of life, you know? Like, I see people in relationships and it's just every day. It's like they can't live without fighting or arguing. And I could not imagine living like that. And I would much rather live in peace. And also, don't think you have to be with someone with money to be happy.
There's plenty of miserable rich couples. Miserable.
Yeah, but because, you know, it's good to find that partner equal level and grow together too.
Yep.
And so as you're growing also, the money decisions are going to get more difficult and you're going to have to be able to handle those. So like right now during these small beginning of the relationship, if you can't handle it, you really got to work on that communication or it's just not going to get better.
Yeah.
It's just going to get harder and harder. Because I feel like with us being together, our decisions have gotten harder and harder.
Yeah, right. And it's harder and harder in different ways. We do a lot more work for a lot less reward. with the hopes that things will pan out. And through the stressful times, it's very difficult for someone like her who's very feminine to handle all this stress of all the workload that we put on each other. And again, we're not completely traditional, where you just get to stay with the family and cook and clean, have a perfect household that's calm. But she still manages to bring that to the table, and I really appreciate that. And that it gives me the strength to still be able to do my workouts, do my editing and business after work, after I get back from a 16-hour dead haul, you know?
Yeah, we're a team. We work very well as a team, I feel like. So teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah, a lot of people have forgotten that.
So don't forget. I want to lighten the mood now. I want to take a cheers. Jazz time. I feel like that was good, talking about our first money relationship talk. No?
Yeah, I think that's a good first money relationship talk. I don't know how long this was. I mean,
well, we started at 4:20.
Oh, what is it?
So now it's 4:47.
Oh, it's almost perfect timing.
I know. I figured I'll take a cheers. We'll get jazzy. I just got amazing news today. I won a Stunden glass.
Stunden glass. We don't have an affiliate code.
Not
Stunden,
yet.
please sponsor us. We'll do reviews.
Nah.
We have cameras.
I'll just send in this clip.
Like that'll be it. Yeah. Stunden glass. If you want your product here. Can you add the ding?
Yeah, I'll add the ding.
Nice. We got some ding on our page.
I got to remember, though.
Some ding.
I forget. There's no
God.
ding.
There's no ding. They're going to watch this and be like, are you kidding? Stunden glass is like, we actually took back the gift that you won in our raffle because you didn't add the ding. And we watch your podcast.
Oh my gosh. No, but it's really cool because I posted my video not too long ago of me doing a gravity bong, and now I get to do like the modern day gravity bong.
Yeah.
It's really dope.
Yeah.
So excited.
We're going to need to figure out where to mount it because it's wall mounted, right? It's not like on a table.
No, you can travel around with it and stuff.
Oh, I thought you had to like smack it on a wall and drill it in.
Oh, no.
Oh,
you're thinking like the one in the smoke shop.
Yeah.
No, I can show you. Yeah, no, they don't have to be in the wall. It's going to be really cool. I'm so excited. So I want to cheers to that. And I don't know, any fun stuff to talk about while I'm cheersing?
Will you cheers? We'll just say, be positive.
Cheers. Oh, I need to put an intention into this cheers.
Yeah, because you're adding that. Why don't you
intention.
tell them about your intentions?
I'm trying to add intentions to my cheersing when I take a hit. So that way, because cannabis definitely affects you mentally. And I feel like when I'm consuming it, it definitely helps me focus on that intention. And I don't really know how to explain it. It just brings more happiness and positivity into me in taking cannabis instead of just doing it mindlessly for no reason.
Yeah.
Now I'm putting intent into it.
Well said. Yeah, I think that's good.
And my intent for this one is going to be to just be positive in myself and not think, because I have a live stream tonight and I get to meet a bunch of my followers and I'm nervous, but I'm just gonna be out of my head because I get in my head too much for some reason. And I'm like, I end up not paying attention to the conversation or something. And then I'm just like, don't know what to say. And then I feel so awkward. So yeah, cheers to all that I just said. Okay.
Yeah. And here's something to being awkward while she takes her cheers. How many of your memories do you have of you being embarrassed? Can you list a time in your life that you were embarrassed and you felt awkward?
Comment below.
Comment below. Now, here's the next part of that exercise. So breathe in, breathe out. Can you recall one time someone else was embarrassed?
Someone else?
Yeah.
How would I know if someone else is embarrassed?
Can you remember any time where you're like, that person was definitely embarrassed that one time they did this? Right now, off the top of your head.
I remember a lady falling in front of the grocery store. She slipped on ice.
Yeah. Do you remember who she is? Would you notice her in public?
No.
Nope. And that's all I'm getting at. Is you are the only one who's going to remember that you slipped on ice in the grocery store. They might remember the event, but you're never going to have to carry this to the grave.
I mean,
let it go.
With social media, though, nowadays, some embarrassing moments are there forever.
If an embarrassing moment is there forever on social media, you're lucky, you're rich, and you're going on the Joe Rogan podcast. So, like,
not always the case.
Yeah.
Definitely not always the case.
well, look, now everyone's going to be anxious forever and think they have to live their life
No, the point
anxiety.
should be, who cares who sees it? It doesn't, at the end of the day, it doesn't affect anything.
The point of the day is you can't name one person who's embarrassed. You can't name one person, not even in a meme, who they are, what their name is, anything about them. If you saw them at a job interview, you wouldn't know who they were.
I'm sure people could.
Okay, cool. Then you're all going to be remembered for being embarrassed forever. Guffaw.
Why are you so mad at me? Because I don't agree? That's how we're ending it?
Now everybody is going to be embarrassed for life.
Yeah,
Goodbye.
so who cares? Exactly, that's the point.
Goodbye, you embarrassed people.
This is how we're ending it.
Remembered.
I don't get to guffaw. I don't get to say bye.
Okay,
You're just done with the episode.
Guffaw.
Love y'all.
Babe.
I don't get, no, you didn't get to sit with me. You didn't get to do it together. Nothing.
All right, here we go.
He just wanted to get up.
All right.
Guffaw. Thank you.
All right, just remember, you're going to be remembered for every embarrassing thing you ever do, so you should be anxious all the time.
This moment. Oh my God.
Make sure you're afraid
don't
forever.
listen to him. Jeez,
Oh my gosh.